Okay. Give me just a second to share my screen with you. And if you could just type into the message box that you can see me while I get the screen up, that'll be great. Okay. So, give me just a second. All right. Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Young, Dr. Heike Young, your team building and leadership coach. And as always, it's my pleasure to bring you these weekly Thursday tidbits, as I call them. I'm going to assume that you can hear me unless you write something into the chat box to let me know otherwise. And you should see a slide on your screen. So today I'm going to talk about how to create changes in your clinic without generating conflict, attracting bad attitudes, or feeling disrespected. Part 5, called Watch and Learn. And so this is the second to last part in this change process. Next week will be the last one. So just to summarize, up to now, I've talked about the setup. In the setup, the most important thing to remember is to have clarity. Know in your own head what you want to change, why you want to change it, how this change will affect everybody in the clinic, what their part in the change is, when you want to implement it, and so on. Remember, your goal is to be so clear that you can answer any questions confidently and avoid any unfulfilled expectations. I've also talked about the delivery. And in the delivery, the most important aspect was the invitation. How will you tell your team about the changes so that they actually want to listen and be a part of it? Then I talked about taking action and knowing what your responsibilities are versus their responsibilities and what not to do. Last week, I talked about handling objections because there will always be objections. And understand that objections happen because they don't understand what's expected of them or they are afraid of something. When I say afraid, everybody's like, oh, no, I'm not afraid. Well, there's always some sort of fear around any type of change. I don't care if that's a change in what you eat or what you do or the changes in your clinic. So today I'll talk about what to do next. So if you've created change, everybody is either doing exactly what you want them to do and they get a gold star, or they're running around doing everything you don't want them to do, or they're not doing anything. If they aren't doing anything, it's because they don't understand or they're afraid. So go back to last week's video and have a talk to those people. Today I'm going to talk about the ones that are running around doing everything except what you want them to do. And I'm going to tell you to do nothing. Just quote unquote, sit on your hands, so to speak. See it, take a deep breath, walk away. Then in the quiet of your office, reflect on what you saw or heard. Now, obviously, if there's bullying going on, you need to address that right away. But I'm just talking about general change, people going, oh my gosh, I don't know what you wanted. You think this is right, and just kind of running around like chickens with their heads cut off. So just reflect on what you saw or what you heard, and just kind of think, why is she doing it that way? And why is he thinking, what's he thinking to make him say it like that. Try to put yourself in their shoes. And this goes for your clinic owners also, because a lot of times you create change and everybody's on board, including the clinic owner. And then it just, it doesn't happen. So think, why is she doing it that way when you just had a meeting and she said to do it the other way? Just kind of ponder things for a good day or two, 24 to 48 hours. And that's also known as do not micromanage and do not do it yourself. As hard as it might be, don't do it. And in addition, don't sigh, don't throw your hands up in the air. Don't say, didn't we just have a meeting about that? Don't roll your eyes. Just accept that this is a part of the change process. Change takes time and there's no magic bullet. Let them figure it out. Like I said, give it a good day, better yet, 48 hours, and just realize this is a process. You've already processed it in your own head. You already know what you want. You can see the end result. They need some time to get there. At the same time, while you're quote unquote sitting on your hands, not doing anything, this is your opportunity for growth. Because we all know change is all about us. It's not about them. You cannot make other people change. You can ask them to change, but you cannot make them change. It's like that saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And it seems like I've been saying this a lot this week. So this must be something that we all need to hear. They will change for you, not because of you. That's huge. They will change for you because of the leader who you are, because they want to impress you, because they want to do something nice for you. They won't change because of you, because of who you are, because you are the practice manager or the clinic owner or, whoever you are. So how can you become a better leader for your team so they will want to change for you? While you're sitting on your hands, think about this. How do you need to change your attitude, your thinking? What do you need to learn? What do you need to do? What tools do you need that you don't have right now to set them up for success and to set yourself up for success? What's your next step? What's your plan? What are your action steps? What accountability process do you have in place for yourself and for your team? And if you don't, how do you find that? How do you implement that? Here's a great quote. Leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure the impact lasts into your absence. So a lot of people are probably not even on this webinar anymore because the whole change process, I divided it into 6 parts. We're on part 5 now. It's starting to get old. But this is a really important concept to get. Change is about you. Once you change, they will change. The other thing to know, the other thing to realize in all of this, and I don't know if you've thought about this, I don't know if you've realized this in the past, personal growth, self-development, leadership brings with it a whole slew of emotions. If you're not going through a whole bunch of emotions as you're trying to create change and as you're trying to get people to follow you in this change process, you're probably not to the leadership stage yet. So you'll feel emotions ranging from frustration to inadequacy to overwhelm to loneliness to anxiety to anger, with maybe team members, maybe with yourself, and then back to frustration again. It's this round and round you're going to go. But as you think about it, and the more you sit on your hands, the more you watch and learn, the easier it's going to get, the more these emotions are going to fall away and give way to growth, give way to feeling accomplished and proud and relaxed and happy. So change is never about them. It's always about us. So to summarize, as you're going through the change process and you've asked them to do their thing, and you're to that point where you've handled objections as best as you can, and then you realize that some people are doing it and that's great, and some people aren't doing anything and you have to talk to them, and some people are just doing what you didn't even say or ask them to do. It's just time right now to step back and kind of reflect on what's working and what isn't. And it's also time to assess yourself. And this is the most difficult part of it. And only the ones who are ready to experience true leadership will take the time to do this. So realize that. Realize change is all about you. And I know that was probably a little bit different than what you expected, but I hope it's just something that you'll ponder and kind of think about for the next week. And then next week is the last video webinar on this change series, and I called that Onward and Upward. In the meantime, if you have any questions or you'd like to talk about this, I'm always here for you. Feel free to reach out to me. Here's my email address at hjung@dblcoaching.com, or you can connect with me on LinkedIn. Beyond Veterinary Practice Management is my group on LinkedIn. I don't see any questions in the chat box, so I'm going to assume that you are good to go. So this is Dr. Young, Dr. Heike Young, signing off until next Thursday at this time. I'll talk to you then.